All right, so obviously Drew Aller is likely going to be Penn State's starting quarterback. You know all about that. So what are some things, assuming he is named the starter, that you think he's going to experience right away? Because obviously that's a very high-pressure situation to walk into. So,
well, I mean, obviously there'll be butterflies, and because even though he played on, I think, 10 games and, got some meaningful snaps, it's still different when you're the guy. When you run out there under the bright lights as the starting quarterback at any place like Penn State. So, part of it will just be kind of getting his feet under the ground and, hitting a couple easy passes early and just kind of getting a feel for the game. But he's enormously talented. And, I think it is good that James is kind of keeping that a competitive situation right now, because I think Bo is also a talented guy who is a little different style quarterback, but brings something else to the table. So I think that competition will bring out the best in both of them. And, there are a lot of times when you need more than one guy to make it through a season, at that position. So, but Drew Aller is, he's got all the intangibles, all the, the skill set, but now it's just a matter of stepping up and being the guy.
Yeah, so what have you seen from him so far? Obviously, a lot of his film is from high school, and then he got a good bit of playing time last year, but a lot of that was in garbage time against second and third strings.
Right.
But from what you've seen, what have you seen from him, and what do you think he could do as a quarterback, as obviously someone that knows a lot about that position? So.
Well, he's big, and he's got a big arm, and he's got an NFL caliber arm, can make every throw that you would want a guy to make. So right away, just that makes him different than the last couple guys who have played quarterback there, right? Different styles with Sean Clifford, Trace McSorley. It'll be interesting to see how he plays in that system. And I think he's athletic too. I mean, he's more athletic than maybe people give him credit for, to extend plays, make plays with his legs. But the first thing that stands out, he's a big, solid dude with a big-time arm.
And it helps to have Dick Singleton and Kaytron Allen there with him.
It's the best friend any quarterback can have. Any new quarterback, if you've got a good running game and a couple of good running backs you can turn and give the ball to, that's your best friend.
Now, a lot of people we talked to said that, it's obviously Michigan and Ohio State, whatever way you want to rank them, whatever year, that Penn State needs to be that third team. What do you think needs to be the step this year to be able to make that the case, that they are the legitimate, known by everybody as the top three, no matter what order they might be, in the Big Ten?
Well, it's pretty simple. They got to win. They got to beat one or both of them. I don't think they have to beat both of them, but they definitely have to win one of those two games. They've got Michigan at home, and they go to Columbus. So right off the cuff, I'd say that's a harder ask, going into Columbus to win. You want to have that game at home. So, but I think that's the next step. I think roster-wise, talent-wise, they're right there with them. But they've got to find a way to win.
Going back to your playing days, obviously everybody thinks of you and Kurt, but you guys had a pretty deep backfield with guys like Jonathan Williams, Joel Coles.
Yeah.
So now that Penn State has obviously Drew, and if he's as good as people think he's going to be, Nick Singleton, Kaytron Allen, Trey Potts they added, do you see parallels there in a balanced attack that obviously Joe worked really hard to construct in 1982 and ended up winning their national title?
Well, I think every offensive coach, coordinator wants balance, and sometimes balance means the defense is inviting us to run, so we're going to run more this game than we do in another game. I don't think balance means 50% run, 50% pass. It means you have the ability to do both as the situation dictates it. So I think every offensive team and coach wants that. And I think that, with the way they ran the football last year, which is better than they've run it in the years past, I think they're in a better position to have that kind of balance this year.
What does it mean to you to have your first NBC game be at your alma mater and under the lights, too? It doesn't get much better than that, so.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I always love to go back there. I get to see a lot of people that, from back in the day, and, it's a special place in my heart and always will be. And so for my first game at NBC to be at Penn State in prime time against a team that we used to play every year, I couldn't script it much better than that.
Yeah, so playing West Virginia, obviously, that when you played against them every single year and had great success. I don't think you ever lost. But first, I guess two-parter. One, what is What's your feeling on that regional rivalry being reinstated, at least for a little bit? And two, I heard a story that Kurt Warner pointed out the town he was from in West Virginia on the map in midfield to you. Can you confirm that story?
I don't remember that. Maybe he did, but I don't remember that. That's a good one if he did. Yeah, I mean, obviously when teams change conferences, it's hard to maintain rivalries. I mean, that was a good one, but honestly, I hated to see Pitt and Penn State go away because, for my money, back then, in the early 80s when we were both top 5 ranked programs, I thought that rivalry